Well, snap. Here we are. What's going on, team? Good to see you as always. Welcome to yet another Monday. Another Monday of Mondays. I am noticing a bit of a lag. It's a little bit concerning on my side. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but of course, you know, I've been running everything all day and there's been no problems, but now that we go live, there's an issue. I wonder if that's going to fix anything. Let's see. No, I've still got some latency. Killer. Oh, wait, that seems to have fixed it. Excellent. There we go. There we go. All right. We might have fixed it, friends. We may have, we may not have. Let's see what the day brings. Welcome to a Monday stream. Let's do the check-in. We've got Barton, Mr. Bill Sturm. Uncle Davis has joined us in the chat. Uncle Davis has entered the chat. Of course, Mr. James Wanser, Lane is here, Roy's here, Randy's here, Victor's here, and Yvonne is here. I hope I'm saying the right, Yvonne. I hope I'm saying it right. Welcome. Antle, you're back too, brother. Welcome to the chat, friends. It's a good old evening. It's Monday, April the 8th. We got my hopefully soon-to-be new best friend, Chris, is going to join us here in about 25 minutes or so. Hey, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Look, how you guys been? How you guys been? It's been a day for me. Mondays are an insane admin day for me. I am just trying damnedest to get caught up on some things. But also, I like to play some video games and do some fun. You may notice I've been doing that in the Discord a couple of times. We've been getting things done. Trying a new feature that the mods and team wants me to get. Basically, what the moderators want me to do is start these scheduled streams like this. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Hi from the future. Oh, dear God. Send us stock prices, Antle. Look, guys, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a blast. This is going to be a fun night for me. I like to do these interviews because I like to do them different. I don't really like to fanboy too hard. I like to just talk and hopefully make some new friends out of the deal. Take a page. I have not seen that. I have not seen that. I'm sorry to hear that, Roy. Losses are always shitty, dude. I'm really sorry, man. Checking all your messages, of course. Yes. Fantastic. We got a bit of a surprise plan for our guest this evening as well. So we're good to see. Guys, Templars, it is a beverage type evening. We're going to crack the Fresca. Let's do this together as we always do. Ah, yes. And cheers to yet another Monday. This one's a special one. Cheers, Templars. Huh. It's always better super cold. Have you noticed? Beverages just seem to be better when they're super cold. Oh my goodness. And for the most part, the cough seems to have subsided. I have a couple of breakdowns every once in a while. Something not related I really want to talk about is, you guys know I own a Tesla, and recently it got submitted for beta mode. Beta mode on the entire self-driving full thing. I can summon the car to me, self-drive, it self-parks. I tell you, this has been a feature I've been having fun with. It freaks the living hell out of Janelle, but I'm super into this. It is something crazy. Like, I can get in, I can just put a destination in, and away it goes. It's 100% like the Batmobile. It makes turns on its own. It turn signals, it obeys stop signs, stops when pedestrians cut you off. It goes around obstacles. It knows things, guys. It is creepy. Creepy indeed. But I gotta tell you, kind of worth it in a way. The creepiness is weird, but it's there. Got a video or two. Can it whistle Dixie? I'm sure we could figure it out. I'm sure we could figure out how to do that. Had a great content day too, my friends. We got a bunch of videos shot and done up for you. They're all uploading now as we speak, and the copyright process begins. So this should be interesting. Oh man. Aside from that, how's your day going? How is your day? Have it follow Janelle everywhere. Hey, Barton, you got to take off. You got to do your thing, brother. It's always a pleasure to see you. And, dude, go do what you got to do. I'll make sure I get this posted up later. Maybe one of the mods could record it or something. My computer is not loving the record feature. We'll figure out a way, brother. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of you. Don't you worry, dude. Yeah, you breaking it in, Roy? That's a terrible, terrible joke. Get some air going in here. It is toasty. It is toasty. Toasty it be, friends. Toasty it be. What's up, Hattie? Good to see you, Hattie. I'm just reading messages here on the side. Look, I say this every week, but I do mean it, my friends. I hope you are all well. I hope things are treating you good and you're getting things done. However it is you got to get them done, I hope you're getting them done. My mods are doing this thing they always do where they roast me while I'm live streaming. See if they can get a reaction. We'll see, Roy. If you want to send me money for no reason, please go ahead and do so. The cost of living up here has gotten atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Cassie, what's up? Good to see you, Cassie. Sea Dog is in the building. I feel like Victor and Randy are just having a really interesting bromance right now. That's what I feel is happening. I truly feel this is this is an interesting time. Ooh. Howdy, Kelly. It's good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome. Howdy, howdy. Ho, howdy, bo, bowdy. Other random greetings of stuff. Glad to hear it, Cass. Every day's a battle, don't matter. The nightmare persists, but so will I. I've been saying that when people ask me how's it going. The nightmare persists, but so do I. Roy, you don't have to be doing that, son. Why are you doing that? Don't be doing stuff like that, Roy. Well, sarcasm does not begot you, my friend. Good old Roy. Good old Roy. Good old Roy with the upper side of the bed raising. Wow, that was delayed. That was quite delayed. John Morgan in his house. Good old John Morgan. Welcome to the chat, Mr. John. I hope you are well, sir. We got Mr. Chris Rupp. I keep calling it Rupp. It's Rupp, right? Do you guys call it Chris Rupp? It's not Rupp. It's Rupp. Like up. Chris Rupp. Got you. Yay or nay? Which is yes. All right, gang. I'm compiling my notes here of things I want to say to Chris. You imagine? You know what's a weird thought? You guys want to hear a really weird thought? An acapella superstar gave me a second thought. Think about that for a second. A ginger from Canada who started a YouTube channel because his wife was sick of hearing about music theory stuff thought about me today. It's interesting. Kelly, that's dope. Good for you. Good for you. Teach beginner piano. That's amazing. Do it up. Ah, good old John, keeping me humble. Thank you, John. That's great, Kelly. Good for you. Getting in on teaching piano, that's amazing. Makes it a lot more fun for sure. For sure. Nah, you'll be fine, Kelly. Just choose any piano book and be 2 pages ahead of them. Just do that. You'll be fine. That's how I started, to be honest. Not for this part, no. I'm gonna I'm going to stick this one on YouTube for now, John, and we might do a Twitch switch over if this one doesn't get done too late. We'll see how we do. We'll see how we do. That's right, John. I sound out the big words. The big words I sound out. We'll take another drink of my Fresca here, friends. Cheers on a wonderful, wonderful evening. Booyah. If you're new to the chat or if you're new to the channel, what language do they speak? We speak apology. That's the official language here. I'm sorry you didn't know that. Actually, I caught myself. I was texting Chris earlier, setting some of this stuff up and things. And I found myself apologizing to him that I was in a different time zone. That's really crazy. We missed the eclipse because it's a cloudy day up here. So I did not get a chance to see it. But hey. Bouncing around, just enjoying life because I'm bouncing around, just enjoying life. Roy sending me photos again. Why are you sending me bottomless photos, Roy? Sorry. I'm with James on the big trash outside. Big trash dumpster outside. I'm with James on that one, brother. Dancing around. I'm a dancing around. Spring cleaning, buddy. I feel you, man. Janelle and I are super into it right now as well. It's become a thing. I think everybody's basement's become a dumping ground, don't they, Hattie? Raging fire you passed on the way. Oh dude, been there, son. I still have to clean off this side of the desk. Maybe we'll do that on a stream together. That's the only reason I got this one done, was I made a whole live stream about doing it. And we did it together, and it was actually a lot of fun. Randy had some good suggestions, man. Y'all did, really, but Randy, I remember that specifically. I thought I had 2 rooms, the basement and garage. Now just the garage. Oh, good is the shower curtain. John, I'm going to send you the flippin' shower curtain. That's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to send that to you. This guy right here. This guy right here. I feel like I have a good list of questions and items to guide the conversation, but I would still prefer to keep it light. Just vibing. That'd be nice, Roy. Peter's probably way too big to be caring about someone like me, though. Let's be real. I haven't heard from Jacob in forever. I feel like it's been like a year. I don't think Peter owes me anything. If anything, I owe Peter. That was really kind of him to come on and do that interview I did with him. That was really fun. I remember he laughed really hard a lot of times. I was like, good, that was my goal. My goal was to make, that's going to be my goal tonight. I'm going to see if I can get Chris to laugh at least once. Because that would be hilarious. I know he loved the intro. When I did that, he goes home and fights a bear. Oh, he loved it. He loved it. That made him laugh. Aw, Bill. Thanks, man. Yeah, here you go. Boom. Boom. Instantly passable. That's right. That's right, son. Boom. Kelly, remind me, what area of the country are you in? Northeast Tennessee. It's East Coast ish, like more East Coast than Midwest. Canada has a system called the Royal Conservatory. If you and I are on Discord and you want to message me, I can send you some stuff. Or you can use anything by Alfred's. Alfred's like Piano Lesson 1B and stuff like that. Alfred's is a really good corrugated system that guides you through piece by piece. Canadians are British colony, so we're using the Royal Conservatory method for a lot. If you don't think your students are going to want to do exams and get graded, etc., then go with the Alfred's method for sure. And I can send you some links. I can hook you up. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a quick second. When I come back, our guest is going to be here. Enjoy. I'll see you guys shortly. Friends, Romans, non-friends, Roy, whoever. Countrymen.
Lend us your ears.
Yes, it's my favorite kind of tree. Wow. This is my friend. At least I'm going to say that, ladies and gentlemen. It's Chris.
We're friends now. We're buddies. We're tight.
It's.
Remember we had that thing with the thing at the place? Yeah.
Yeah. We go back to like 8 seconds ago. It's a thing. It's 100%. Yeah. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. This is home of the Templars. Jesus, they named themselves, and it's my last name. It feels weird, but hey, you're here.
You do you, man. Okay, I'm excited about it.
It's
past my bedtime, but that's cool.
It's you. So the chat's going nuts. They're like, hey, Chris. This is the part where you tell them that actually your name is Brad, and this has been 5 years of a brutal lie.
Yeah. I wasn't ready to announce that. You kind of put me out of the closet here.
Yes.
Brad, is still he's developing. He's not ready. So we'll come back to that one. No one ever heard it, so we're good.
He's percolating. Yes. Now, as you know, my channel is so huge that both the viewers right now are excited.
Love that for both of us. I had like 4 people on my post social saying they were going to come listen. So
holy, that's double my normal audience right there. That's insane.
I respect that.
That's insane. Listen, I if you don't mind, I want to ask you some crazy facts. I've been doing a little research about you, and now I apologize in advance if I mispronounce words. But you're from is it Mankato? Is that how you say it?
You could say it that way, but no, Mankato.
Mankato.
What it is? Yes.
Good old
also
Minnesota.
a Libra and like long walks on the beach.
Ah, okay. There's no beaches near me. About half an hour drive, but we can make this work.
Okay.
Great state of Minnesota, and it's great because it's the only state that I mentioned, so therefore it is great by default alone. I heard that it's also the soybean crushing capital of the world, which seems interesting to me.
I'm going to take your word on that one. Cannot verify or deny. I know we do a lot of soybeans.
Yeah, because I thought it's interesting that it's specifically a soybean crushing capital and not just like the soybean capital,
Yeah, I there's a lot of farmland. I know they do a lot of corn, wheat, and stuff too, but yeah, a lot of soybeans.
All right.
I grew up next to where the Green Giant canning place is.
Like the ho.
Yeah, Green Giant. Yeah,
wow.
I'm about like 30, 40 minutes from where that is. So you drive past that on the way to Minneapolis, and there's this giant Green Giant statue on the hillside as you go past it. It's always a thing.
I'm in a small suburb of Vancouver. It's called Abbotsford, and we're home to pretty much every Hallmark movie that's ever been shot.
That makes sense. Yeah, I get that.
It was something. It was something. And I have the Temple Music Academy. It's a brick and mortar location out here, and we have a giant mural that's painted on her side. And the number of times that's shown up in Chicago for like a meet cute, or in Indiana, or that we're like, what the I should get paid for that. That's mine.
Okay, I like that.
It's really hilarious. So I heard during research for this that your first actual paid gig was 16 years old at a wedding.
It was. So my mom is a professional musician, so we grew up with that all the time, and she was getting always hired for things. And it finally got to the point that she felt I was good enough to join her on these things. Plus, nepotism. So she, that I remember the first time I was actually paid for singing was 16 years old at a wedding, and it was at some park in some tiny little town near Mankato. And I remember the little band shelly thing, or I don't know. No, it wasn't a band shell. It was a little covered area, like where they put picnic tables and stuff. But that's where we did the wedding. That's where I sang at. I don't remember what I sang or anything, but I just remember being there. I have a picture of it.
And you got $4, and it counts as a paid gig. Damn it!
Hey, back then that was a lot of money.
That's true, and that's true. I mean, to me, it's still a lot of money, But
fair.
I live up in Canada where the price of bread is $7 right now, so that's a thing. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Like this whole stream is powered by gerbils. That's.
Oh, I see you in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Right about now, you're like, why did I say yes to this?
I gotta quit saying yes to everything.
I wish my wife would. Anyway, moving forward.
Hey, what? Sorry, why I didn't catch that? What?
Moving forward. I gotta ask because, and again, I'm gonna horribly mispronounce this, but you attended Gustavus and then college.
Gustavus.
Gustavus College.
Gustavus Adolphus College, named after The actually, I feel like the actual Norwegian is Gustav, but Gustavus is how we pronounced it. They're a small liberal arts college, about 20 minutes north of Mankato,
Oh,
and yeah, so I went to school at.
was that just a choice because, hey, close to home, I love the school, love the home vibe?
Strong music program there. I had looked at other schools and kind of last minute decided, because they had reached out to me because I had a high ACT score and they had recruited me a little bit, and I was like, no, I'm going to go to this other place. And then I changed my mind and called up and said, I changed them. I'd like to check this out. And I went there like, yeah, it's not so bad. Sure. And there I was.
Wow. And I noticed you
My
mentioned...
mom loved it that I was close.
I bet you mentioned that, like, even in your bio, it states that your mom's insanely musical, your brother and sister are insanely musical, I believe you are, and then you take a moment to go, sorry, Dad, or something, or Dad tried? What's the story there?
He just, he could bang around. Everybody kind of knows, one or two piano songs in their life, right? Like, this is the one song I got, that was my dad. And he could play a little bit of guitar, and he could kind of muddle around on a harmonica. So if we did the family band show, we'd get him in there just to do a little bit, some little bits. So he was part of it. We also had the dog in the family band show because the dog would toward the end. So there's a thing at the church talent show.
Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. When I was researching some of the questions I wanted to ask you, and I'm always trying to get names spelled right and said right, and I'm not doing a good job on this evening. But what I found interesting was the search results of other people that shared your name. That if someone's not paying attention, apparently, and here's my top three, you get a Chris Rupp that's a doctor at Mayo Clinic.
Okay.
You get somebody else that's a high-level financial advisor.
Okay.
Or my personal favorite, the chief customer officer at Victoria's Secret.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, I'm surprised my OnlyFans didn't come up.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. Mine has only one fan, and it's me.
Right. Yeah, your wife stopped supporting you.
Yeah, 100%. 100% would led to the gerbil thing.
Yeah, we really know each other well now.
Oh, man. I noticed also that this is something I'd actually like to prod a bit, if you don't mind, is that you left your college before senior year to go to Texas for a video game job. And that triggered something in me, as you notice the Super Mario thing below me here. Like, I'm curious what the video game was. Have I heard of it? Is that a thing?
You ever played real-time strategy games?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was one of the best players in the world at Age of Empires.
Dude! That's sick, man.
I was in the top 20 in the world or so, about top 3 to 5 in the U.S. And so Ensemble Studios, the company that made the game, contacted with me and said we wanted to bring in you to help us balance test the new game Age of Mythology. So I moved to Texas, and I worked on Age of Mythology for several years.
That's insane, because I wonder what the connection was if you're going up there for a music college degree and then a video game company calls you. How the hell did they find you?
It was during the summer between my junior and senior year of college, and this all came together, and the offer was there, and I kind of said, I got to take this. It's so crazy that I'm leaving school before I was finished with the degree, but like I got to do this. I can't say no to this opportunity, so I moved to Dallas, Texas.
Dude, what an opportunity. And like, for anybody not knowing in the comments, to become that good at a game, that is a grind, man. Such a grind.
I was pretty obsessed with the game. I remember my summer between sophomore and junior college year, I stayed on campus, and this was back in the day before internet was everywhere. And I remember I bought a phone line for my dorm room just so I could have my dial-up modem so I could play that game all summer. And that was how my summer went.
Yes. Oh, I feel that so hard, my friend. So hard. Yes.
Yeah. So different than everything else I did with music. It was a completely different life path, and in a different universe. I've been in game design for 20 years.
That's so good. And primarily in like the balance testing, or do you have a programming background at all as well?
No, not programming. I know the world just because I've been around it, but no, I'm not a coder. But yeah, it was all in game balance and design.
Dude,
it was cool. It was cool. It's so weird to think about it because it's so not my life at all. But yeah, for that's a couple years stretch of doing that stuff, it was neat.
Yeah, because like guys like you are legends then, because another guy I look up to is Corey Barlog, who's responsible for a lot of Santa Monica studios and God of War, and similar thing. He had this vision. Nobody really believed in his vision at the time. And he's like, listen, we're going to balance this game and it's going to be a thing. And people are like, famously, I think Sony said something like, who's going to want to play a game about Greek mythology? Well, I mean, it's God of War. Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah, and Microsoft eventually broke up Ensemble Studios back in, like, I don't remember, 2011, 2012 or something. And a bunch of my friends from the studio then went off to form other companies, one of which formed Zynga. And they were part of the initial Zynga people.
Whoa.
So it was kind of cool to see. Like, they designed Words with Friends back in the day, so it was like a big thing.
Did they ever reach out to you to do music stuff or anything?
No. Like, when I was there, I hung out with the music guys, and it actually was a good start for me because since I wasn't doing music at all anymore, I was really missing it. So I hung out with the two guys there that were the music and sound people, and they got me started on putting together my own original home studio and how software worked with that. And I still have the keyboard that I got for that 20-some years ago. That keyboard right there has been in my studio for 20 years because I bought that in Dallas, Texas in 2002.
Oh, my God, dude.
From those guys. That was my music at that point, yeah.
That's insane. When I was getting my music education, I had to do a lot of it in Vegas. And one of the profs that was helping me introduced me to his friend who does all the music for casino machines. And that was insanely intricate to me at the time. The guy's like playing one thing over here, programming drums over there, exporting it, programming it into...
Sure.
It was intense, man. Intense. So that's so badass, dude. Wow.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
I
actually co-wrote the official strategy guide.
Oh my God!
A good chunk, and so I'm a published author, and the reviews on it were fantastic. They said this is the best strategy guide they've ever seen for a game like this.
Well, so. Yeah, look at who wrote it. Like the guy that like essentially could break the game, right? Like
yeah, it wasn't just like written by a designer. It was the guy that knew how to do everything in the game and how to be effective. So I wrote the whole strategy guide at the end of because the first part of it was the single player playthrough, how to beat it, back when we used to make those things, before you just, web search it. And then I wrote the whole strategy guide for how to play multiplayer. And different strategies for all the different race civilizations and stuff. And it was fun.
Dude, and how does swing dancing come into all this? Because I heard you just won a championship or something.
Okay, all right, yeah. So back when I was in college, I got involved in Lindy Hop, which was the 1940s big band swing kind of style of dancing.
Okay.
And that was because there was a kind of neo swing craze back when Big Bad Voodoo Daddy and Brian Setzer, and that was happening around 98, 99, 2000.
Right.
And so we were dancing in college, and then I kind of had picked that up and became halfway decent at it and was kind of teaching it. And then once I left school, I stopped doing it quite a bit. Until about a decade later, I started doing it again just to, I need something new in life. And eventually got into something called West Coast Swing, which is more of a modern version of swing dancing compared to Lindy Hop. And it's danced to modern music, and it has a smoother, less bouncy feel to it. And the last 6 years has been taking over my life, and now I travel the world internationally competing at the highest level in that dance.
That's what's the standard competition look like?
Oh gosh, I mean, at the big events, I was just at the biggest one in the world. There's about 1,500 people that were there. Even in my division, which is the highest division, there were some 150 people competing in that. Usually, that division has 20 to 30 people, so 3, 4, 5 times as many normal. So it was neat to see that many people in our division. It's a weekend. There's workshops throughout the day. There's performances by the top pros. There's the competitions, and there's just dancing itself until 4 or 5 in the morning every night. The ballroom, and it's a whirlwind.
My God, your cardio must be perfect.
I do get a lot of activity, yes, but I train outside of it. Train / staying fit in general, but part of that is because of the dancing stuff. So yeah, I'm at the gym almost every day, cardio and lifting and stuff. Gotcha.
And I notice your Facebook says that you give great hugs.
Fantastic. I was going to give you one, but you're in Vancouver.
This is true. It's great
sounds
to
like
hear.
A personal flaw of yours that you're so far away, actually. So.
Well, it is. It's better for protection. I am actually a world champion open mouth kisser.
Oh, I've heard that. I did hear that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that played second place, he doesn't work the gums like me. That's the secret. Like if you've had popcorn, I'll know.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is-
I like your head-to-head battle with him was epic. I heard.
Yes, head to head, neck, chin,
Yep, all of it.
cheek.
Yep.
Again, this is the best interview ever, dude.
I hope so. All two people that are watching.
Yes, 100%. Interesting question I want to ask about Cypress Fire. Just personal.
Okay, music stuff.
Yeah, personal nerd moment. Why the unique spelling of Cypress Fire? Is there an inside joke I'm not catching?
Nope. Once we started with Cypress with the Y, because my buddy Jeff, who we started the group at his house, he lives in the subdivision called Cypress Court or something like that. So, and it was also all three of us at a point in our lives, we were kind of looking for change, kind of looking for something new. So we kind of had the Phoenix rising from the ashes kind of vibe. That's where the fire comes from. And we also started this whole concept around sitting around his fire out in the backyard. And some of our videos are shot at that fire as well. And so, and we thought it'd just be kind of neater to have it with the FYRE than with the Cypress, going along with the Cypress, so it matches. So Cypress
Gotcha.
Fire.
I noticed in a lot of your tags, it's like the sci-fi thing was quite witty. I thought.
It does work out really well, yeah. That wasn't intentional. That was a side bonus. It wasn't like, oh, we got to do it because of this. No, it's just like, oh, that's cool.
And how did Seventh Ave become a thing? What's the story there?
Okay, 7th Ave, another group I started. I put together a lot of groups. It's one of my things, I guess. Once I left Home Free in 2016, I was doing a lot of my solo stuff, but I still wanted to sing with people. So I worked on it with my brother in Home Free for so many years, and I wanted an opportunity to work with my sister. And so I put together with some of my other contacts, we put together a 4-person group that was designed more as like a show group than particularly an a cappella group or anything, like something you would hire for a cruise ship or a corporate party or something like that. So we wanted to have choreography involved, we wanted to have instruments while still having a strong vocal presence. And that was what 7th Ave turned into. And we put together 3 albums, and we did a bunch of touring, and we were kind of starting to like, okay, we're get some stuff going here, and then COVID happened and just shut it all down. And everybody just kind of went and did their own thing, and by the time COVID returned, we were kind of like, we've all moved on. So it just stopped.
Do you notice any kind of like pro and con versus singing solo as opposed to singing in these said groups?
Oh yeah, of course. Solo, you're just one-man boss, so you get to make all the decisions and just do whatever you want to do, versus having to work in a committee. So, but there's also nice having a committee having different ideas and skill sets. You know, someone's better at this than you are, so you can add that to what you're doing versus you having to do everything.
Right.
So there's pros and cons to both of it. I like the variety. It's one of the things one of the reasons I wanted to go off my own is I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do and have it different all the time. And so that's kind of what happened, where I'll put together a fugue, or then my last thing I just released was a Papa cover of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" for the start of the baseball season. I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. I want to do that. You know, so I never know what I'm going to do next, and I like that aspect. And I can do that a little bit with Cypress Fire and 7th Ave, but those have a little bit more of a, does this fit the brand, or is there a reason for this? Versus my stuff, I just do whatever.
Well, so I'm noticing a trend. If I was to like look at you as like a document, let's say, and let's say a turn-based action strategy guide kind of thing. One of your great talents here seems to be that you can create something out of nothing in the form of groups. What's the process that you go through if you had to start a new group right now? Like how does Chris even go about it?
It's networking.
Oh.
So much networking, where you meet people and you just catalog it all a little bit, to the point that then if you have a project, a lot of projects don't get off the ground. They can't overcome the inertia of doing nothing, because it's always easier to do nothing. So one of my skill sets has just been, well, I want XYZ to happen, so I'm just going to ask people to make it happen. And a lot of times people say, okay, sure, let's try this. And I'm good enough to make it a good enough experience that then they're like, let's do some more of this. And then one thing snowballs into the other. Or even something as simple as, like, maybe you're at a show and you see someone doing some cool lighting effects, and you go talk to the lighting guy, like, let me get your card. You never know. And then 5 years later, you call up, hey, I saw you at a show 5 years ago. I got your card. I need some lighting for this thing. And then that person gets involved with you. So you just kind of keep a catalog of connections and networking. Who's good at this? Who's good at that? And just put it together. Because a lot of it's inertia. You just say, let's do it.
That's actually super wise, because so much of what you do is the grind, right? And like if you're sitting there,
the grind of love, but yes.
yeah, fair.
When I started 7th Ave, my sister said some of the people she worked with in LA were just blown away by what we had put together, because, I got the group together in like, I don't know, April or May, and we shot our first videos and first songs in June, and then by that fall I had the whole album done, and we had a whole dozen videos out within the first year, and it's just me, like, just do it from zero to all that, and that's been always one of my skill sets.
Well, yeah, because I noticed another thing in your bio is like in an 8-year span, you did like 5 solo records or 5 records plus your solos, and then your worship. Is worship the right term for the?
I think gospel albums.
Gospel?
That kind of covers it. Yeah, I did 3 gospel albums, a solo pop acapella album. I did my original album with instruments after I left home free, or while I was leaving home free. I did an original piano album. I did a Christmas album, and then I did 3 7th Ave albums too. So the space of 5 years, I did 10-ish albums. So almost 2 a year I was putting stuff together.
That's intense, man.
Yeah, I've slowed down now. Burnout is a thing. I do less. I just kind of had to. The pandemic didn't help, but yeah, just so much go, and now I've definitely because I haven't done it. I guess no, I take it back. Just say I haven't done an album since the beginning of 21, but no, I did do the Cypress Fire original CD, and that took 2 years though, from a year and a half from concept to actual finished product. So that took a little bit longer.
Is that because of a scheduling issue, or that that the material was that complicated, or
material? Not everybody's not working as a like a full-time job or something, so we're all working when we can. Even though I did a lot of the organizing, but I still then get Jeff or Tyler to come over. Like, okay, when you're in town, let's do this, or when you off of work today, let's go do this. So I had to work on their schedules. And the sci-fi album was all original music, so it just takes a little bit longer to create originals from scratch versus doing cover songs and arrangements. Because everything you're doing is whatever you think should be for this. Like, you're not copying something else, you're creating it all from scratch. So it does take a little bit longer to get it right. So
you're almost more attached to it, right? Like
and attached to it too. Yeah, you're really putting your heart and soul into something, and like this is a reflection of myself. When it's all said and done.
With the gospel stuff and the Christmas albums or piano albums, for lack of a better term, I like to refer to them as like a thematic record.
Okay.
Are you finding these draw you more creatively?
Yes. Like right now, I'm contemplating 1, doing a 4th gospel album, and 2 is doing a Broadway album, all acapella stuff, because that is certainly my specialty. And like that sounds fun. Like especially today's day and age, it's a lot more singles than it is albums anyway. But still, I like doing an album because it's a project and a thematic thing, and it all ties together. It gives you kind of a focus and purpose to it. So yeah, like right now, like a Broadway thing sounds fun to me. So I'm kind of putting together a song list, and I'm starting to think in the back of my head how things would go. So that would be the next project for me, probably.
Do you ever have conflicting ideas, like I want to make a gospel record and a piano record at the same time?
Yes, but it gets compartmentalized.
Got you.
So even if I want to do both, like, well, I'm going to just put this here and let it percolate in the back of my brain while I work on the thing I'm working on. And it'll then, once that's done, I'll come back over to this.
Got you. And so at what stage did you're doing Cypress Fire? You're killing it there. What stage is it called Fusion? That's your youth group? I'm trying not to oversimplify it here, but like you have a whole youth group thing involved with Cypress Fire.
We do. Hey, you got the name right that time. You pronounced it right. I hope you get Fusion right.
Yeah.
So we, because my time with Home Free, I have fans all over the world, which is a unique and neat experience. And we have a couple of them in Australia who I toured with 7th Ave. We went out there, and then when Cypress Fire came together, one of those fans is a, I don't know, I want to say professional grant writer, but does a lot of grant writing.
Okay.
And she said, there's a thing here that they do outreach things to Aboriginal at-risk youth. They try to find artistic things to give them exposure to different stuff to help give them ways to process and deal with things in a more healthy, constructive way.
Correct.
And she said, I think you guys would be really interesting for this. What you could do with the acapella stuff, beatboxing, songwriting, and just being from America, like really cool. So, and she's applied for it, and we got the grant. So last year, we came over and did this. We spent a couple weeks in Australia working with these different school kids, and it was a lot of fun. And it was a lot of us taking the stuff we had done and actually formalizing it. Because we've done over the years plenty of school workshops, both as Cypress Fire and ourselves, but this time we kind of said, let's make an actual defined program of what this can be and build it more and then pitch it and stuff. So we've been doing that, and it's neat. It's still a work in progress, but we have ideas on where it could go. We're going back to Australia this summer. We've done some stuff in Germany. Ironically, it seems more fun and easier to do stuff overseas than in the U.S. I think some of it for me too is because I've done so much touring in the U.S. I've been to every state that I'm not as excited about that. But going overseas, that's new and exciting. That's adventure. That's something that's outside the ordinary. So that I'm more enthused to do those kind of projects overseas. But yeah, anyway, we've been putting Fusion together, and we're excited to see what that could develop into. We got some with London in the fall as well. Yeah, people to talk to us, and when we talk to them about it, and then if something works out, we come and go do stuff with their school kids.
That's intense, because you've got a great music education, which I want to get into in a sec here. But also Peter, who you mentioned recently or semi-recently to me, got a doctorate, did he not?
Jeff
got the doctorate. Okay. And
Jeff.
And specifically, in what area of music is your background in? Because like that leads to another question, but I'm more curious about your music degree, since they can be so broad, right? I'm really curious.
It is broad, and mine was broad too. Like, I didn't get a master's or a doctorate. I just got a general music degree. And the reason being, I was already performing in college and doing stuff because I grew up with this.
Right.
I was already teaching. I taught piano lessons for 15 years almost until Home Free became full-time. And I didn't feel the need to pursue the doctorate things. Like, I didn't even want to get like a vocal performance degree in college because the stuff I would have had to do, I didn't feel was helpful. Like, doing a collection of Schubert art songs was not going to further my career, because I was working in the pop world. I was working in stuff that I was actually getting paid for.
Right.
There's not a huge demand for that kind of performance, right?
Right.
So once I left school and once I got back from the video game thing, I just kept doing what I was already doing. And I had thought about getting a master's, but a lot of the stuff that I would have been learning, I already knew. And especially in music, unless you're going into teaching, it's about what you can do, not about the documents or anything. If you can play, you can play. It doesn't matter if you have a piece of paper or not. So I never saw the value of getting the next level of schooling. But Jeff, he has a doctorate in human resources.
Oh.
So music's always been the hobby for him. And we had first met him because way back in the day in 2007, Home Free was doing one of our very first cruise ship gigs up in Alaska, and our tenor had to back out last minute. So we were scrambling trying to find somebody, and through that networking chain, Jeff came across our radar. And he had just finished his master's at that point, and he had a job offer with IBM in Portland. And we said, would you want to go spend 4 months doing an Alaska cruise instead of this 6-figure job offer? And he said, yep.
Wow.
So he went and did that. Because he's always been a big believer of, I want the experience more than the check or whatever. And that was a cool experience that wasn't going to be repeatable another time. So
yeah,
he went and did that.
With
yeah.
like, regardless, any amount of money, you could not repeat that.
Yeah, no, that was such a unique opportunity.
Dang.
And yeah, so then he eventually got his doctorate in human resources, and some of his doctorate stuff factors into what we do with Fusion then, about disseminating ideas and how we convey it to the children. Now, his stuff was more focused on adults, but it's still been interesting for him too to adapt that and learn more with 8-year-olds.
Yeah, which, speaking more of Fusion here, my chat's going nuts wondering how can this community help you in your endeavors with Fusion?
Oh,
What can we do? I'm getting Discord messages up the wazoo here.
wow. All right. We have
So,
like 3 people watching now.
yes, 3.6.
Yeah. Oh, that poor, unfortunate half soul. Uh, yeah, gosh, I wish I had a better answer for that off the top of my head. Jeff's kind of more is in charge of Fusion.
Okay.
So if somebody is interested in wanting to learn more about that, I guess send me a message on my Facebook artist page or anyway, Instagram, whatever, and I will get you information and connect that.
Perfect. I'm going to make sure that I have already followed you on Instagram so we can be best friends.
What did we already talked on Instagram earlier?
We did, but I'm never
though?
presumptuous and make people follow me. Oh, I am following you. Aha.
Well, now I've got to follow you because it'd be awkward otherwise.
Well, I mean, only 3 people watching. I don't think anyone's going to notice.
I follow back. Boom.
And then I can share all my horrific memes with you.
Oh, good.
I have an odd question because selfishly, it's really, excuse me, getting over a cold. Selfishly, it's a very important issue to me. In all seriousness, it's a very thing that I believe in, and I'm curious how you went about it. So if I understand the dichotomy of your biography, so to speak, you're doing the kick-ass video game job. Life is dope as hell. You're doing this.
Kind of. It was very lonely, actually.
Gotcha.
So when I went down there, I was 21 years old. This is before social media.
Mm.
This was 2002.
Okay.
And I went down there, and everyone else in the company was 10 years older than me. A lot of them were married, having kids. So I was one of the few people that was fresh out of college, essentially. And yeah, I didn't quite fit in with everybody in that way. And I didn't know how to make friends. Like coming from college, you have this built-in social networks and stuff, but when you're not in the real world, nobody cares. There's nothing there. And so I spent a lot of time at home just working on music stuff or playing games and stuff. And so that was one of the biggest reasons that I eventually came back and finished the music degree and everything, because I was just lonely. I didn't have a life there. It was just the game company.
Right.
So it was bomb in many ways, but also not everything's perfect.
Because I wonder how does Chris, because there seems to be another theme amongst your life of like, you have all these crazy awesome ideas and or opportunities, but sometimes you're forced to really make a tough decision. Like how do you leave school to do the video game thing or come back and finish your senior year and at a different university, no less? I'm curious how do you even begin to form the checklist to begin this thought process?
Well, to some extent, sometimes decisions just have to be made. You might say, oh, wow, how did this one person get through this thing? Well, they got through it because they had to.
Yeah.
Because life's still moving on, you just got to just make it happen. And I don't know, when I came back to Minnesota and finished the degree at a different school, which also was a fantastic idea because the 3 years I was at Gustavus was great, but I really had gotten everything out of there I was going to get out of it, and going to a brand new school just to finish it off was wonderful because I got to meet so many new people, work with so many different new professors and things, and new networking. So that actually, side note, was a fantastic thing for me. But what was I just saying?
Coming back, finishing different school,
Making decisions.
Necessity.
Oh, I also started building home free more back in 02, 03, 04, 05. And I kept saying at that time that, okay, it's getting a little bit better every year, really slowly, but a little bit. So I'll stick with it. And if it ever feels like it's going backwards, then I'll go back to the video game world and say, okay, it's just not going to happen. So that was kind of the backup plan for a long time. But then it did just keep getting better just enough until eventually it exploded and turned into what it turned into.
Ah, okay.
It looks like this is the plan, but it's like anything in life, you're filled with certainly doubts and wondering, is this what I want to be doing? Is this the right direction? And I'm sure in a parallel universe, I did go back to the video game thing and spent 20 years there, and I have a completely different life now, and that's fine too.
Right. So that leads me, this is another weird question. What's your backup plan right now? Like Cypress Fire's doing good, 7th Ave's doing good?
I don't know. Well, 7th Ave isn't doing anything anymore. It's not how I say it's doing good. But it was a great experience, and I learned from it just like anything. Cypress Fire is the thing I'm most interested in right now, more than my solo stuff, but it also changes because I've just done so much with Cypress Fire. We put together a lot of videos, and the album just came out in January, so that's been my focus. But I think I can also see myself like, well, that's great. Now let's go do something else for a while, which would be back into my stuff with like if I do this Broadway album and things. And then I'll get really excited about my own stuff, and Cypress Fire will be kind of on the back burner a little bit. But beyond that, I don't know. I'm lucky in that all of my income is not tied to a specific location.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I live in Orlando.
Oh.
And that's neat. But I could see myself in a year or two going somewhere else. You know, I've always loved Australia. I'm very tempted, like maybe I want to go live in Australia for a year, or go live in Europe for a while. Like I could just do that.
Spiders,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, well, it's not so bad in the cities. You just don't go into the outback.
This funnel web spider. No, I'm good. I'm gonna stay on the plane, man. I'm good.
So I don't know what the answer is right now for what's coming up next, and I like that I do have all these options that I'm appreciative of because a lot of people certainly don't. So I'm very aware of that. But yeah, take advantage of it because I can make videos and I can record stuff anywhere.
You have set that up for yourself quite well, I must say. Anywhere you want, right? And you seem to have a fantastic PR team working with you too. So
yeah, Stephanie. She's great. She comes in and out. She kind of just does it sort of on a volunteer basis, and there's nothing going on. I don't really hear from her. But then something will come up and like, hey, I got this thing for you. Like, okay, cool. Blah, blah, blah. It's nice to have a buffer zone. Or oh gosh, this is so sad. The last couple of years, scammers are a thing for every artist and anything. It's always people trying to steal, and there have been a lot of scam companies, whatever, that have tried to pretend to be me.
Yeah.
And it's sad that I have fans that have been completely duped and taken in by it and have lost money. And it's very unfortunate. And she's been good with that too, because then we had one gal that we had to eventually contact the police in their neighborhood so they had to go to this lady's door and tell them that you have not been talking to Chris at all ever. This has been a scammer person. You need to get help. Blah blah. It was a mess. I know. So Stephanie's been great with that kind of stuff too.
I mean, on a much lower level, we've seen them.
Much more
in our chats too. The scammers, right? That we've seen them be like, telegram me for a free laptop or whatever. You're like,
okay. Oh yeah, like it's so painfully obvious too. But my fans still get confused by it. There's something like, hey, you're such a great fan of Chris's. I want to give you his secret Instagram page. You can talk to him privately here or whatever, and eventually get in. And some people think like they're gonna end up marrying me, so they'll give me money because we're gonna get married. And it hurts my soul so much. There's just so little I can do about it.
Oh.
I can tell people, I can post about it, and people still don't believe it, or they don't see it, or whatever.
Oh. What about throwing a pitch or singing the anthem at a Twins game? We're gonna see this soon. What's going on there?
Oh, I'd be down for it. Have you seen our anthem? Cypress Fire's got a great anthem. We bid at a soccer game last year here in Orlando, professional soccer team. I just am not in Minnesota very often, so that makes it more difficult.
That's fair. Okay,
Yeah.
Twins. Let's get this guy on a plane. Let's go. Let's figure
Love
this
it.
out. Let's figure
I
this
did
out.
my take me out to the ball game thing in my full Twins garb.
Yes, I remember seeing this, and
Yes.
it's led to the question. It's led to the question. So if we're learning, we got a new best friend, Templar. So we got Mr. Chris here, who's a killer video gamer. Handsome as all hell. Like, Jesus, buddy. It's not fair.
Oh my gosh, stop.
It's not fair. Great music degree. Funny name search if you want to look it up. That's funny. You're doctor and financial advisor, everything. Is there anything else us Templars need to know about you, brother? Anything you want to share?
Oh, man, that's the biggest stuff. Talking about the Cypress Fires album and the videos we've been putting out. There actually is another Chris Rupp, too, who's a guitar teacher somewhere. So I bet he's had a lot of confusion because he's actually a musician, so that's even tougher.
Probably been great for business, though.
Maybe, yeah. No, man, that's my life. I don't know. It's just nice to talk and chat and meet a few new people and stuff. Just doing my thing. I was just working today. Cypress Fire's next cover is Beyonce's Texas Hold'em song.
Oh,
So I was just recording my part before I signed on here.
that's
Just,
amazing.
working
And you
on
got the
that.
whole
Yeah.
setup at home. That's the coolest part about this modern day stuff, man.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, I got all the gear in front of me. You can't see it all here, and the stuff around. And I have a little boothy thing up here when I have the guys over. But when it's just me, I don't want to keep running back and forth, so I just set up this little portable thing.
dang, dude. Dang. That's the way it is, man. That's the
Yeah.
way it is for sure. Okay, my
Wonderful.
friend. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I don't want to keep you. I know East Coast time. It's a nightmare. And
It's getting late.
gang, I'm going to throw up my BRB screen and I'm going to say goodbye to Chris properly and formally because that's what you should always do when you have a guest in your house. So I'm going to throw up the BRB screen and I'll see you guys in a minute. Yes, that was Chris. How was that, my friends? Did you enjoy? Did you enjoy as much as I enjoyed? Did you enjoy more than I enjoyed? Less than I enjoyed? You guys, that was one of the funner interviews I've done for sure. It's nice to have someone animated as me. That was great. That was great. I didn't know that he was such a great video gamer. That's a thing that we have. We could be friends with just that alone. I also didn't know he moved to Orlando, so that's kind of neat. Well, thank you, Randy. That's very kind of you to say. That's very kind of you to say. I hope you guys like my interview style. I tend to be a little different than most, but hey, it is what it is. Shout out to all of you guys for tossing in questions and good old times. Look, we got a few minutes left together. If you want to do a few reactions, we can do them. Or maybe not. We'll stay on YouTube for the evening, and that's probably going to get us crashed. Solid good time with Mr. Chris Rupp of Cypress Fire. Cypress Fire. Yeah, probably best to stay on YouTube for the remainder of the evening because there's no sense in like a 20-minute Twitch stream. Even still, we could even end it early. It's been a long day for many of us. Gang, this is what it's all about. Shout out to Roy for the super chat. I appreciate it, Roy. Unnecessary, but I appreciate it, my friend. Boom. Bill coming in hot. Gift intense. Bill, what are you doing, brother? Awfully nice. Oh my God. Who's getting all these Ooh. Look at these names. Doopy's fashion consultant. Crazy. Well, I appreciate it, Bill. Thank you, dude. It helps everyone and helps the channel, and I love that about you, man. Thank you so much. Here we go. One more. Kaylin. You just like hearing the ding. Yeah. Yeah. I do want to soup these up, man. Now I'm back into the swing of things. I got a new motorcycle vid I got to throw up, too. I got to show you guys that. It's over on this machine, though, so we can't be doing that yet. But tis a fun evening. Tis a fun evening. Thank you so much, Kelly. I hope you guys liked the interview. Who should my next guest be, friends? Who should the next guest be? I'm curious. What should we do? Kelly, have a great evening. Congrats on the new stuff with the piano teaching. If I can help at all, please reach out to me. You know I will. You know I will. Oh, my goodness. Jeff? Oh, Dr. Jeff. Yeah, that could be fun. That could be fun for sure. Yes. Yes. The Chris Rupp interview, my friends. Interviews, my friends. It's fun. Get more of a seasoned talent to it. Even fix some technical glitches while we were going. That was nice. My camera decided to die for some stupid reason. Fixed it while going. So there you have it. Look, friends, I think I'm going to end on a high note and call it there. Let's see. I think that's what we're gonna do. Check this out. I'm gonna let this percolate on stream, and once it's done, I will cut up the interview and re-upload it as per the YouTube algorithm allotments, things and stuff. So we'll do that, my friends. Listen, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep kicking ass and taking names. I love that you guys are in my life. It makes it all the better for it. Thank you so much, everyone. And remember, it never stops. Watch it go, everybody. I will see you next Monday. Hey, pop in Discord, say, hey, I've been playing some video games around there. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for all the gifted subs to the channel, or gifted members, I suppose, because we're on YouTube. I love all of you guys. It never stops. Watch it go.